I received a great question this week from Rick, and actually, this is interesting because it was something that I thought about recently as well. And it was on the Mac, and it's the Mac Control Center. He says, can that be customized? Because, there's some things in there in the control center that I don't really use. Like, I'm not really interested in focus, or I'm not really interested in the music player controls. So, can I get those out of there? Can I kind of clean it up and manage it? And the answer is, Rick, sort of. Now, I would argue on focus, you want that in there because that's actually now where you manually can enable do not disturb. So even if you're not using the other modes, you might want to get in and do not disturb. For me, do not disturb is great when I'm doing screen sharing for work. Because I'm remote now, I do a lot of Zoom calls. So just turn that on, and then you don't get embarrassing notifications coming in while you're sharing your screen. It's also great for making presentations if you're doing PowerPoint or something like that. And also just great if you need some peace, if you just need a distraction free bit of time to go through things. So, I find that one handy, but I can understand that maybe it's not for you. But in terms of customizing it, yes, you can go into system preferences. You can go into the dock and menu bar preferences, and then you'll see a couple of sections. You'll see one called Control Center, and you'll see one called Other Modules. Now, the Control Center items can be configured and customized, but they cannot be removed from the control center. And unfortunately for you, Rick, both Focus and Now Playing, which is the music player section, they are in that control center section. So you can't customize them, you can't remove them. They're stuck in your control center. The other modules, anything under there, can be added or removed from Control Center by selecting them in the sidebar and then checking or unchecking the Show in Control Center option. And for me, the ones that are in there are accessibility options, battery, and fast user switching. I don't know if any third-party modules or anything would show up in there, but possibly. And then there's also another section called menu bar only items. And these are just things that will only show up in the menu bar. You can't put them into Control Center or anything like that. Because some you can actually have both places. So there are options in some Control Center modules to have them in the menu bar and also in the Control Center if you'd like. So you can play around with the settings, but probably not a lot you can do to really customize or change around your Control Center, not in the way we can on iOS at least. So I hope that answers your question, and maybe there's some third-party tools or some tricks or workarounds. I didn't find any, but maybe somebody in the MacCast community has some hints or tricks for us there.